welcome to Golden Guitar. We have a cool song here from Mabel and 24kGOLDN, Overthinking. I think they're overthinking. Cool song here with a lot of attitude. Only 3 chords, that's great. We will look at just 2 different parts and how to handle them, and that is pretty much what this song is all about and this tutorial. So let's start right away. We need to have our capo here on the 3rd fret to match up the sound and to have the easiest chord possible with these notes we want to. So capo on 3rd, and let's start with A minor. All right, so that is open A, 2nd D, 2nd G, 1st B, and open E. Then we have E minor. So that is open E, 2nd A, 2nd D, open G, open B, and open E. And the 3rd and final chord will be D. So that is open D, 2nd G, 3rd B, and 2nd E. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna give you one way of playing for the verses and pretty much one way of playing for chorus, and that will be it. This is all about to pick some notes here and use the chord for that. But I will also in the end here give you the way of just playing the strumming pattern if you want to skip the notes and all that. So just one simple strumming pattern that works for this song. So that will be great. So to say first, this is A minor, E minor, and D through the entire song. All right. And it will be A minor here, twice as long as E minor and twice as long as D. So 2 parts A minor, 1 part E minor, and 1 part D. All right. So the verse play will be like this. Something like that, all right? And it's based upon, of course, A minor, E minor, and D. So let's look at the A minor part first. You hold the chord as it is. You play 1 down on the bass notes there, or bass strings, the A and D perhaps. And then you're gonna play like that, okay? So 1 round will be down on the bass strings, then try to hit the notes open B, 1st B, then go back and play bass notes 1 time, and then open B, 1st B. So 1 round will be bass, open B, 1st B, bass, open B, 1st B. And that is 1 round. You're gonna play that for 2 rounds. So slowly it will be like this. Okay, so that was 2 rounds. Bass, open B, 1st B, bass, open B, 1st B. And what I do here, I don't want to just pick the actual note, so I incorporate strings around it. So I use the chord as it is, because it all comes from the A minor, and I play down on bass strings with A and D perhaps, maybe even the G, doesn't matter. And then when I play the notes there, focusing on the B string, I even incorporate the G and even the E, doesn't matter there that much. Just try to emphasize the B string, that is where the melody goes. Okay, so 2 rounds of the A minor, then we switch to the E minor. Here I like to hold the chord as it is again, and we have the same principle here. It's bass, then 2 notes, then bass and 2 notes, and that will be 1 round, the one and only round, because E minor and D only have 1 round. Okay, so here the E minor sounds like this. Okay, so what I do there, I hold the E minor as it is to have the possibility to play a really fat bass there on the 1st down. So I incorporate more strings than just the E, perhaps even A and D. 1 down on bass. Then the melody goes on 2nd G, and the next note is open B. So So that means I want to incorporate my little pinky here. If I'm using these fingers like I'm doing, the middle and the ring finger for the chord, then I use my little pinky on the 2nd fret G string. This note there. And then I play the open B. And I play that again. So that is one round. Bass, 2nd G, open B. Bass, 2nd G, open B. Then we have the final parts here for the verse play, and that will be based on the D chord. It sounds like this. Alright. Same principle again, okay? So now the bass will be on the D string. Here you can choose to just play the D string as it is, because we don't have that many strings to work with here. We don't have all these bass notes or strings up here. So we'll play from the D string, perhaps the D string only, or if you want, you can grab the D as it is and play the D and G string here, like this. And the two notes will be open G and 2nd G. And then you do that again. Bass, open G, 2nd G. You understand? It's very tight here. It's all about two strings here, the G and D string. So the bass is on the D and the notes and melody are on the G string. So again, D, one round. Bass, open G, 2nd G. Bass, open G, 2nd G. So that is how you play the verse. I'm gonna take you through this a little bit slower for one round, and then I'm gonna play a couple rounds for standard tempo. So let's go from A minor to E minor to D. All right. And when we play this in standard, when we play this faster, you can choose to play more downs than just this, and that is because you want to have this sound going on. Okay, so you can stick with only this, but I'm gonna show you now how to play more downs and get a really good flow on this one. So let's go from A minor. I incorporated the E string here for each and every chord for purpose, because I want to show you that it's cool to have that also if you want to, so you don't have to be that picky of which string and so on you incorporate here. The main thing here is to really emphasize the melody strings there, where the melody goes, and otherwise you can just play with it. I hit some extra downs on the bass. That is what I think I'm doing. I'm not sure. I'll go by feel a bit, but I think that is where I put the extra downs to the bass, okay? So it's up to you. You have this pattern and that will work for the verses. Now let's go over to the chorus. Of course, based upon the same chord progression, A minor, E minor, and D. And we will look at each and every part like we did in the verse. So the A minor sounds like this. Then E minor, and then D. All right, so that is pretty much how it goes. So we'll start with the A minor. One down on the bass, then that is the notes. So that will be second on D, then open G, then 2 times on 3rd fret B string, then 1 open B string, and you end on 2nd fret D string. So bass, second D, open G, third B, open B, second D. I play that with downs as well. I don't just pick the notes. I think that is boring and it feels and sounds better to incorporate more strings around it. So again, go from the chord, the A minor, and you are aware of where the notes are. So try to emphasize those, but you can use strings to support that note and that melody. So when you play it, it could sound something like this when you bring in more strings to it. Alright, so it's there in the background, but you have more sound to it. That is the A minor part. And then you're gonna switch to the E minor. The same here, you're gonna start with the bass, okay? So that is E minor. So bass on a couple of strings there, and then the melody goes on second D, open G, 2 times on B. So it starts and goes in the same way as the A minor starts. So that is it for the E minor. Bass, second D, open G, third B, third B. Then we switch to the final chord, the D of course, and play again. Bass or even the full chord, it's up to you because it's a short chord, not that many strings. So just one down like this. And then you hit the notes fourth on D, open G, back to fourth on D, and second D. So the D was down on bass, fourth D, open G, fourth D, second D. Okay, so that's the chorus play. I'm gonna take you through this slower version of it, so let's go. And with some standard tempo. So on. Yeah, so there you have the chorus play, and you will play that. Now you basically have what you need for this song, because it's only to this these two parts here for the song. But I want to give you just a straight strumming pattern. You would have to think about notes and nothing, just the downs, which chord you're playing. So when you're choosing to play just a clean strumming, you will play a very easy strumming pattern. It's about 8 downs in total. That is 1 round. And for A minor, you will play that for 2 rounds, E minor 1 round, and D 1 round. So it follows the same pattern there. So the A minor, 1 round of it will be 8 downs, like in all other chords, but we want to emphasize 3 of the downs, and that will be the first down, the 4th down, and the 7th down. So 1, 4, and 7, there is where you need to put your emphasis. So it's gonna sound like this, and I'm gonna explain how to do it. All right, so 1 round is, that is 8 downs. So I emphasize in this song, in this way of playing, with the top strings. Okay, so the first down, I hit a little bit more on the top strings, and the other downs in between the emphasized 1, 4, and 7th, I play on the bass strings. So that means top, bass, bass, top, bass, bass, top, bass. That is 1 round. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 4, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. right, so there we have one round. You're gonna play, like I said, 2 A minors, 1 E minor, and 1 D. And that will sound like this for a couple of rounds. So on. You can play a little bit with it, bring in some notes here and there, and then go back to the strumming. It's up to you. But here you have the Mabel and 24kGOLDN song called Overthinking. So I hope you enjoy this. I did. Great song. And I think Mabel is a Swedish artist, and that makes it a little bit more tasty, in my opinion. I'm sweet as well. So yeah, great there, Mabel. Thank you for this song, and for all you guys who watch this, I hope that helped. Subscribe and thumb up and all that good stuff. See you soon, and play tuned.